Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm ℍ𝑒𝓁, and I will be playing NancyDrew Resorting to Danger. I left off with unscrambling a word that was actress, so now I'm just headed to the guest suite. And if you like to see what I've done so far, you can watch the previous videos. Well, let's begin.
Right there. That's where the next bomb must be.
This is my score. I'm trying to unlock the ultimate private eye. Okay, so we got a bomb in here, so.
And you were out of commission. Ick! This bomb's loaded with rotten eggs. That octopus is holding on to a key. A secret, huh? I better find out what this key opens. That ought to keep him busy while I get that key.
who's now blowing little blue bubbles in the reception area?
Oh boy, he got himself stuck in a safe? I better figure out how to open this.
Birthday is March 6th, so 3, 6, and then the notes was
Mr. Mingles, there you are! What a naughty, naughty boy you've been!
Please, Mrs. Montague, from now on, keep him tied up or something, okay?
I'll do no such thing. Especially since his odd behavior and all the other bizarre symptoms he now exhibits are your fault.
You're so angry about his botched...
spinal manipulation, stomach massage, acupuncture section, haircut.
You're so angry about his botched spinal manipulation, I can't help but wonder how far you'll go to get even.
Well, it is my hope that she goes as far as she can. Mr. Bolesky and the people he works for are interested only in money. Not fairness, not compassion, not justice, just money.
Hey, look, no one forced you to work here. You don't like your contract, you shouldn't have signed it. So just quit whining. And quit begging every guest that walks through the door for money to finance that idiotic pipe dream store of yours.
So you're aware that Helfton...
Has been looking for a place. Been talking to Miss Monte about funding. Hired a lawyer. Help him out with his contract. Doesn't want violence.
So you know he's been discussing funding with Mrs. Montague?
Of course, Joanna told me.
That Joanna? The janitor? Is she your new BFF or something?
I could tell him what you've been doing. Course, that would mean your job, wouldn't it?
You mean it's against the rules for staff members to...
read radical magazines, use a sensory deprivation chamber. Put fruit on their eyes. They guess what is complimentary items.
You mean it's against the rules for staff members to date guests?
You bet it is.
You didn't tell me we were breaking the rules. Oops. You're the one who's been fraternizing with the help? Yes, sweet thing. Mummy is appalled too. I guess we know whose films we'll never watch again.
No, wait. You don't understand. I was preparing for a role. It was all an act.
Excuse me?
I was just seeing what a relationship with a lowly receptionist would feel like. I'm an actor. It was all research. So let's just keep this quiet, okay? There's no reason for anyone to suffer just because some nosy loser couldn't keep her big fat mouth shut.
If this throws a wrench in your career, good. You'll be getting just what you deserve.
How can you say that? What did I ever do to you?
It's not what you did to her. It's what you did to...
her masseuse, her sister, her brother, masseuse.
Joanna's angry about what you did to her brother.
Her brother?
My brother Elwood wrote the best movie script ever. Only they never made a movie out of it because you turned it down. And then, when he tried to get you to tell him what was wrong with it so he could fix it, you ignored his calls. All 89 of them.
I will not be ignored. Oh my gosh, you're the one who's been leaving me those notes.
Who cares about the notes? She's probably the one who's been planting those bombs.
Bombs? Did he say bombs? Don't worry, sweet pea. That was the last straw. We are leaving and never setting foot in this dreadful place again.
By forcing me to work in the vicinity of someone as deranged as that janitor, you have failed to provide me with a safe work environment. And that is a breach of my contract. Which means I, as they say, am out of here. Yes.
Is your brother looking around here too? Is he the one who's been planting the bombs? I can't believe this is happening to me. To my screwball sister, yes, but to me? I need to call my agent.
Open your eyes, dunderhead. Can't you see how preoccupied with publicity your supposed girlfriend is? She's the one making stuff go boom around here. Wise up.
Well, now that people seem to be all done slinging mud at me, I think I'll go take a bath in some.
4 words. Find the bomber.
That's only 3.
Now!
Hey, my bomb detector's going off. This black powder must be what's triggering the detector, which means this map was left behind by the mad bomber. And that means this emergency shelter is my next destination. It looks like there are 3 entryways. I think entering from the garden is the safest bet. a lock. Obviously, the bomber hasn't come through this door. I guess I need to figure out how to open it up. A stone pig? This must be a clue to open this lock. I need to go where there are lots of statues. Time to move on.
If you paid attention to the garden statues, you might already know where to place this pig. Walk up to a statue and you can select it with your cursor. And look carefully at the other objects around each statue. Okay, I haven't walked up to none of the statues.
Hidden plaque. This coin looks like it would fit in that big bomb shelter lock. I'd better find more coins. Hey, I got a scroll from Homer. Who could this belong to? think I got all the coins. Now it's time to see if they fit in the door to the bomb shelter. This is definitely the bomber's hideout. It's pretty dark over there. I'd better turn on that light. They're blank. Sticky notes aren't blank anymore. There. Gosh, you are the bomber. I was right after all.
Me? The bomber? Don't be ridiculous. I was simply exploring and stumbled into this place only moments ago. I'm no mad bomber. Why, it's all I can do to set my watch.
I highly doubt that. I understand you made a fortune.
Selling digital components, making computer monitors, breeding, bomb ratings, looks.
I understand you made a fortune selling digital components, which indicates to me you're a lot more mechanically inclined than you let on.
Nancy, I'm rich. If I wanted something blown up, don't you think I'd hire some thugs instead of doing it myself?
Like I said, you had the know-how, and this was personal. The Redondo hurt Mr. Mingles, a defenseless, trusting, adorable little dog. Getting revenge was one of those things that had to be done right, so you did it yourself.
Once again, brava for you. So what happens now?
Now you come with me and turn yourself in.
Oh, you silly, simple girl. I hardly think so. As it happens, I just built and activated an extremely powerful bomb, which means if you attempt to haul me off to the ℋ𝑒𝓁𝓁𝑜, you and everyone else within a 5-mile radius will very shortly suffer a very unpleasant fate. Better get to work, Nancy. In the meantime, Mr. Mingles and I will be off. Farewell.
And you were out of commission. The look on Mrs. Montague's face, on the parts that could actually move, that is, when I walked through the door, was one of complete and utter shock. Up until that moment, her plan to ruin the Redondo had gone flawlessly. I must admit, planning that bomb in the jungle room while she was in there was very smart. It made me think she couldn't possibly be the bomber, although that does explain why it turned out to be a dud. She was so bent on revenge she didn't even care about those shares in the Redondo she was offered, all because she thought they'd hurt poor Mr. Mingles. But as it turns out, his only real problem was Mrs. Montague herself. After her arrest, the dog was adopted by an elderly couple, and for the first time in his life he was given plenty of exercise, fed regular dog food, and petted instead of massaged. Within a week, he was acting like a normal dog. He even lost that weird thing he had for hair. But that could be because his new owners didn't really have any. And, believe it or not, ever since the trial, the Redondo has been filled to capacity. I guess it's true what they say. Any publicity is good publicity, as long as they spell your name right. Speaking of which, even I got some publicity in the ℋ𝑒𝓁𝓁𝓁𝑔. They referred to me as the teenage sleuth who solved the bombings in between a few much-needed procedures. I thought it was kind of funny, but my friend Bess Marvin says I should sue. But I can't do that. After all, they spelled my name right. Cassidy barely blinked an eye when I walked into the reception area after defusing his last bomb. He just sighed, stood up, and put his hands out so the police officer beside me could handcuff him. His last words to me, his only words to me, were, "Well, Nancy, so much for fighting the power." So I still don't know if he knew that the Redondo Board of Directors had given him a big fat promotion. It would have been just like Nick not to tell him. Although between his infatuation with Jasmine and the pleasure he obviously took in sticking it to the establishment, I kind of think Cassidy would have chosen being a mad bomber over being guest services manager anyway. And, believe it or not, ever since the trial, the Redondo has been filled to capacity. I guess it's true what they say. Any publicity is good publicity, as long as they spell your name right. Speaking of which, even I got some publicity in the ℋ𝑒𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁𝑔. They referred to me as the teenage sleuth who solved the bombings in between a few much-needed procedures. I thought it was kind of funny, but my friend Bess Marvin says I should sue. But I can't do that. After all, they spelled my name right. Nick practically dropped the phone when I walked into his office after defusing that last bomb. He was so shocked he never even tried to run for the door. Of course, I had brought 2 police officers with me, and they were pretty big, but still. He tried to talk them out of arresting him by giving him the sick ant story, but they didn't believe him for a nanosecond. Guess I am kind of gullible, huh? At least I'm not the only one. Apparently the Redondo's board of directors knew Nick had been overcharging clients, but they had no idea he was keeping a large part of those ill-gotten gains for himself. When they found out he planted all those bombs to cover up his embezzling, they promptly fired him and laid all the blame for ripping off their clients squarely on him. Then they quietly resigned themselves to the fact that the reputation of the Redondo had been irreparably damaged, and they'd no doubt have to shut its doors. However, Believe it or not, ever since the trial, the Redondo has been filled to capacity. I guess it's true what they say. Any publicity is good publicity, as long as they spell your name right. Speaking of which, even I got some publicity. In the Tinseltown Tatler, they referred to me as the teenage sleuth who solved the bombings in between a few much-needed procedures. I thought it was kind of funny, but my friend Bess Marvin says I should sue. But I can't do that. After all, they spelled my name right.
Well, looks like I've unlocked the special credits, so yay! The ultimate private eye.
You earned special credits. Congratulations to you. Now that you've proven yourself, why don't you go play arcade mode? I think you'll find it a good challenge.
Alright.
When a recently renovated cruise ship invites me on a sneak peek passage, I immediately say yes. I mean, spending a couple of days aboard an antique luxury liner, how fun is that? But as soon as we leave port, it becomes apparent this is not your ordinary cruise ship. Ghostly faces at portholes, eerie lights in the dead of night, people vanishing into thin air, things quickly go from slightly weird to downright scary. Help me figure out why, in my next case, Ship of Shadows.
Alright, completed the ultimate private eye. Yes. Well, thank you for joining me. I have fun playing this game. I hope y'all enjoy like I've enjoyed. Thank you for watching. And like and subscribe. Bye.